and the runners gradually, but only gradually, approaching her. And they're off and racing, and, well, they're off. Now they're racing. There was quite a long pause before Global Esteem became the first to break the line. Barlow in the beige colours towards the inside, and the market leader Queen's Gamble in red and white are prominent either side of Classic King as they race towards the first of 8 flights. Racing in 5th place early on is Sky Power, who's towards the inside of Selwan as they take flight number 1. They are all over. The back markers over it included Huckleberry Sting, Bobby's Fortune, and also Barbarossa, as there's a shortish run to the second. Global Esteem it is who leads. Global Esteem from Classic King in second, Barlow in third with Queen's Gamble. They take it together. They are all over safely. Slightly awkward leap back in the field by No Espresso. So Global Esteem, who was hooded on the way down to the start, is racing enthusiastically in the pink jacket, leading by 3 lengths from Classic King. Barlow in the beige with Selwan in 4th place in the blue and orange as they move away. Queen's Gamble is in 5th. Sky Power on the inside in red and blue of City Tour in the 2 hoops, and Star of Affinity in the blue jacket with the white cap. Then behind these we have He'll Stop at the top, one of the nose-banded runners as they continue their run on towards the third. Held up towards the back early on, the likes of Huckleberry Sting. Also towards the back, Barbarossa and No Espresso after that slight error at the second. Global Esteem will arrive at the third in front. Next 2 flights come pretty swiftly once we reach them. Global Esteem from Classic King. Barlow landed a little bit on all 4s there. And once again, just back in the field, a slightly slow leap by No Espresso. On to the 4th. Global Esteem, Classic King. Selwan has jumped up well into 3rd. 4th place for Queen's Gamble. Barlow just shuffled back to 5th place after those slightly slower leaps than some. Star of Affinity moves through into 6th place on the outside of City Tour. And then He'll Stop at the top with a couple of lengths back to Sky Power, who's lost a couple of lengths. And then behind these, the likes of Huckleberry Sting in company with Barbarossa and No Espresso as the leaders now make their way into the back straight. And out in the lead, it is still Global Esteem. So we'll reach the halfway stage of this Watch Racing TV Novices Hurdle. Global Esteem will arrive at the 5th with a lead of a good 3 or 4 lengths over Classic King in second place. Global Esteem over Classic King from Selwan, Queen's Gamble and Barlow. Behind these, Star of Affinity trying to creep into it. He'll Stop at the top, and Bobby's Fortune is another from well back in the field. He's just picking off a few. They include City Tour, then No Espresso, as the leaders make their way now down towards the third last. Global Esteem, but Classic King, Selwan, who's travelled really strongly throughout, is moving through into 3rd place. Another really good leap by Selwan, whose hurdling's been particularly fluent. Then behind these, Queen's Gamble. Barlow is just struggling to go with the front quartet at the moment, who have broken about 7 lengths clear. Barlow is in 5th place, and then a break of 3 to 4 lengths back to Star of Affinity, who shows in 6th as they do begin to get a little bit more strung out. And Global Esteem still has the lead. In 2nd place, Selwan moves up. Queen's Gamble on the outside in red and white. Then behind these, Classic King, 4 lengths back to Barlow, who is just getting slightly closer to the front quartet, but does have work to do with 3 furlongs and 2 flights of hurdles to take. So off the final bend, it is Global Esteem with Queen's Gamble moving through to challenge. Selwan, now just with their head slightly to one side, is beginning to get tired. Barlow, however, is beginning to run on strongly and has moved through now into 4th place. 2 from the finish. Queen's Gamble comes to press Global Esteem. Classic King in 3rd. Barlow just trying to get back into it in 4th place. Continues to close, but still has a good 5 lengths to find on the leader, Queen's Gamble, who's heading down towards the last. It is Queen's Gamble from Classic King. Barlow wrong at the last. Classic King coming for a crack at Queen's Gamble, who's still a length and a half clear and is holding on at the moment. It is Queen's Gamble driven out towards the line for Johnny Burke. She will beat the boys for Harry Derham. In 2nd place, Classic King. Barlow running on strongly late in 3rd, head of Global Esteem in 4th place, and they were away from Star of Affinity.
First run of the day, Queen's Gamble. Harry Derham, now the trainer, of course, of this mare. There's always been quite a buzz about this. So how are you feeling coming to today?
Nervous, but it could be a 0 to 100 round Plumpton. I'd be nervous. But I would say, first of all, it's a thanks to Oliver and thanks to Alex Frost and Ed Galvin for entrusting me with her. She means a lot to their families. Yeah. So to have her is great. I obviously didn't know her until this season, but it was abundantly clear to me that she was well above average from the start. you're always nervous when you start a horse off who's not fully wound up, and she very much wasn't today. I've left plenty to work with because the feedback from Oliver and his team was that she's not the easiest horse to keep weight on, so I didn't want to have her wound up today. But she's she's a good mare. She was very pleased with how she jumped. And there's a good bit to come from her.
Johnny Burke said, speaking to us afterwards, that he loves what she does in the mid part of a race. So presumably when she is fully wound up and the sort of killer kicks there at the end, not that it wasn't today, there's quite a lot of excitement with her.
Yeah, she's, as I said, she's well above average. She's got a good level of ability, and she's an absolute, I know her name's Queen, but she is a queen. She's lovely to deal with. She's got a great temperament, and I hope I can keep getting her better through the season.
Is the listed Mares Novice race at Newbury in a few weeks' time on the agenda?
Could be, but it comes soon enough.
Okay.
I don't want to go committing to it now without speaking to her owners.
Sure.
As I just said to them there and Johnny, there's a day in March I want to have her at her best, and I want to get a couple more runs into her, but I don't want to go and rush her and ruin her at this time of year. I want to just bring her along at her right pace. So it is definitely an option.
Last word as well. I just watched as you came back, and I imagine relieved. You were saying you're nervous with the former trainer, now your assistant Oliver Sherwood, sort of arm in arm. It was quite a nice moment to watch on. Is that quite a significant moment for the two of you in your relationship?
Well, I just said to him, thank you very much, because he's obviously thought the world of her. I think she probably helped him get through some pretty rubbish times for him, and I know it means a lot to his family, that horse. So for me to be allowed to train her, and that means plenty. But I just, I said to him thank you, and I'm sure that there's much better days to come with her.
Very brilliant. Well done.
Thanks, Nick.
First run of the day, Queen's Gamble, very popular, and a big round of applause. Johnny Burke getting back on her. Just describe how good that was.
Yeah, great to be back on her. Big thanks to Alex and Ed and all their family for letting me back on her. Jumped really well. That was the most impressive part today, I suppose. I probably could have been more confident on her, but I had a job to do, and I was making sure it was getting done. She'll improve plenty fitness-wise, and there's obviously hopefully bigger targets for her as the season goes.
You'd have watched on that hurdling debut. You've talked about her jumping today. Was that something she needed to really sharpen up on, do you think?
Yes and no. She did plenty of schooling before I got injured after Cheltenham, and she was always very good, always a very natural jumper. Probably in Warwick that day she was probably ready for a holiday, and that probably accounted for her poor jumping that day. But from day one this year she's been brilliant, and as I said, she's always a very natural jumper.
And she's always retained that sort of special element about her. Ever since you were on her in bumpers, there's always been quite a buzz about this mare.
There is, and I'm just saying, guys, the most impressive part of her is in the middle part of a race. She just, her stride gets longer and she's getting more and more powerful. So it's the most impressive part of her, and we're very lucky to be associated with her, and looking forward to, hopefully, as I said, bigger targets.
Good stuff, well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.